Ladies and gentlemen, today, I'd like to talk about something that's been creating quite a bit of buzz in Denmark, and possibly a turning point in the Danish royal family's story. I'm referring to Prince Joachim's potential return home in 2026. Now, let me give you some background first. As many of you know, Prince Joachim has spent the last 5 years living abroad. He started out as defense attaché in Paris, and since September 2023, he's been serving as defense industry attaché at the Danish embassy in Washington, D.C. But here's the key detail: his current contract is set to expire in about a year. And that brings us to the big question: is Prince Joachim coming back to Denmark in 2026? Well, according to Prince Joachim himself, yes, that's very much on the table. In a recent interview with TV2 in Denmark, he said, and I quote, "We want to come home. But we're not ruling out staying abroad if we can't help it." So, while nothing is official yet, the desire to return is clearly there. So what's driving this desire to return? There are a couple of major reasons. First, family. After years of living abroad, Joachim and his wife Princess Marie miss the everyday life in Denmark. They want to be closer to their children's schools, their extended family, and probably just the Danish way of life. Second, the royal family might need him. Since King Frederik took the throne in January 2024, he and Queen Mary have had a lot more on their plate. And with their own children and the younger royals still being educated and growing into their roles, there's actually space, and some would say a real need, for someone like Prince Joachim to step in and help. But this leads us to the next big question: what role would he actually play if he returns? And that, my friends, is still very unclear. Royal experts are saying, yes, there's a need, but no one really knows yet whether Joachim will be offered a full-time position within the royal household. It's uncertain if it'll be an advisory role, or something more ceremonial, or even something entirely new. And of course, we can't talk about his return without remembering the tension from 2022. You might recall that Queen Margrethe decided to strip Joachim's 4 children, Nikolai, Felix, Henrik, and Athena, of their prince and princess titles. That caused a very public rift within the family. Joachim was hurt. He said so publicly. And while things have calmed down since, that episode might still influence what kind of role he'll be given if he comes back. Now let's talk timing. The contract in Washington runs out in mid-2026. So if everything lines up, if the royal house makes room, and if the family feels the time is right, then yes, we could see Prince Joachim back on Danish soil sometime that year. But the big picture here isn't just about one man moving home. It's about what his return could mean for the Danish monarchy. With the king and queen working harder than ever, and the younger royals still growing, having Joachim back could bring balance, experience, and perhaps even healing after past tensions. So where does that leave us? Right now, we're in a waiting game. We're waiting for that official statement. We're watching closely to see if and how the royal house chooses to include Prince Joachim again. Whether that's in state functions, charity work, or as a kind of statesman or cultural ambassador, it's all still open. But what we do know is this: Prince Joachim wants to return. The royal family could benefit from his return. And 2026 might just be the beginning of a new chapter, for him, and maybe even for the monarchy itself. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.